So the bearded Asif Hooper settles over his bat. And yet we see one of those, well, just a swapping of positions. As Captain Rohit now comes in out. The ball to Asif Hooper. Hooper is forced back, but in the process is off for a very quick single. Just dropped it in front of him and immediately ran. And one more added. It's 158 for the loss of 7. 158 for 7. There's Rohit. Douglas gets one wide outside the off stump. No need to play. Signal a wide by the umpire. Rohit. And this one is high, hard, over the fence. And the 6 it is. Again.
He has to make his way back.
As we see the Welcome back here to the Park Hill playing field as we are about to have the resumption of this T20 practice game where Nepal, they're taking on the Windward Island Volcanoes. The Volcanoes batting first to 196 for the loss of 8. A top score of 50 off the bat of Dylan Douglas. There was 38 from Kavem Hodge. And the Nepalese team will now have their response, trying to reach that target of 197 for victory. Just under 10 runs per over, 9.8 runs per over, the required run rate for Team Nepal. And we certainly look forward to how things are going to be exchanged in the middle. The two opening batters are there, Muhammad Asif and Kushal Bertel. So Bertel is going to take the first strike, and it's going to be Kavem Hodge opening the bowling for the Windward Island Volcanoes. So Hodge is going to take it from the southern end. Bertel settles over his bat. And here comes Hodge, bowls to Bertel. Bertel works this one to the onside. Field is off the long on fence, so immediately off the mark, Nepal. Teddy Bishop picking up there in that long on position. Tosses it back to the wicketkeeper. And it's one for the loss of no wicket. Nepal, as Muhammad Asif, the wicketkeeper for Nepal, the opening batter. And of course, one of the members of the likes of many wicketkeepers would have done so, as this one worked through the onside yet again. And fielder comes off that boundary position, misfielded in the process and affording the opportunity for a second run. So two off the bat of Asif. And this the first over, three for the loss of one. First over, three for the loss of one. Hodge to Asif, punches into the offside. And there was Hooper trying to get around, but cover was there in the process from the fielder coming in from that mid-off position. And first dot ball for the innings for the Windward Island Volcanoes. Score remains on 3 without loss. Hodge moves his past the umpire now. That's Asif. And could only find that short wick. That's fielder coming in from the square leg position into more or less a short mid-wicket position, and avoided any additional run. Total remains at 3 without loss. Asif. And good delivery there from Kavem Hodge. Had an important innings for the Windward Islands Volcanoes, 38 before he ran himself out. And we're now coming now to bowl yet again to Asif. And this one, he was looking to bang that somewhere through the offside, missed it completely, missed by the wicketkeeper. And it's 4 byes being signaled. And that's the end of the first over. It's 7 without loss. Nepal chasing 197 for victory with some 19 overs to go, 190 runs required. And they're off to a fairly good start here. And, you know, look forward to who's going to pick up the attack from the northern end. It looks as if it's so Lewis it is. Tall speedster out of Grenada. And had a very important innings for the Windward Island Volcanoes. He stuck around with Asif Hooper, especially in that last over where the Windward Islands were able to get up to 196. Sherman Lewis will come into bowl to Bertel. And races past umpire Butler, and Bertel Fans that one outside the off stump. And into the glove of the wicketkeeper there. So Lewis walks back to his mark as we lose a bit of the sunshine in the process. And will now turn at the top of his mark now to come into bowl to Bertel. And this one again rising outside the off stump. And Bertel allowing it to pass through. So a bit of aggression being shown here by Sherman Lewis. Tall, lanky player he is. And just having a chat to this captain, the Emilius, as he returns to the top of his mark now. Racing out the ball to Bertel, who's in that upright stance, and delivery that is just came off that inside edge. And luckily for him, it didn't strike the stumps in the process. They got a single, and that's the fourth run being added to the Nepalese total. Eight for no loss as Lewis. This time to bowl to Muhammad Asif. And Asif is flicking that one right, as a matter of fact, breaking a window just below our commentary position. Nice, decent flick into the deep backward square leg fence. And total advances now to 14. So the dressing rooms are right below our commentary positions. And I heard the breaking of the glass as soon as that one came through. So nice shot there from Asif, doing some damage both ways. Damage to the Windward Islands total, damage to Sherman Lewis, and damage to the facilities here at Park Hill. So there's to be some repair work. Let's see if Sherman Lewis can effect such a repair work for the Windward Islands Volcanoes as he races in now to bowl to Asif, and Asif is forced back, wrapped on that thigh pad, and a stifled appeal coming there from the wicketkeeper, but that was way too high. No alarm there for Asif. And the total remains on 14 for the loss of one. We're into this, the second over. Volcanoes posting 196. And this is the first of three practice games for Nepal as they prepare for the T20 World Cup to be hosted here in the Caribbean. And to those around the region who are following us, good day to you and to the persons back in Nepal as Sherman Lewis now comes in and bowls to Asif. Asif drives, lovely drive it is, all along the carpet into the long offense. 4 well-taken runs and taking the total now up to 18 for the loss of no wicket. And a nice flowing drive off the bat there of Muhammad Asif. And bringing the end to the total. 11 runs off the second over. 18 for no loss. Nepal chasing a target of 197 for victory. So Hodge it is who's going to continue from the southern end. And this time we were bowling to Bertel. He's not out on 2. Hodge shot. And Bertel just works it into the onside. Fielders quickly off the fence there. And just a 1 run resulted in the process. 19 now for no loss. So a decent start here by Nepal in this, the third over. And this one he punches into the offside and finds the field in that point position. And no run resulting. That looks like Teddy Bishop who's in that area. And here's Hodge. Punches beautifully. It was a bit uppishly, but wide off of the short cover fielder there into the fence. 4 more runs, importantly, there for Nepal. And they're on now to 23 for no loss. So, good shot off the bat of Mohammad Asif. And he appears to be in a no-nonsense mood here as Nepal chases target of 197. Hodge to Asif. And cuts nicely. That's 4 more. Lovely shot. It is. And fairly short there from Kavim Hodge. And Mohammad Asif just rocked back and placed it nicely between that gully and point position into the fence for 4 well-taken runs. It's down to 27 now for no loss. So they are really motoring along. Asif to this delivery and works it nicely off the pads and bringing the whitish long off into play. Picked up and quick return comes in, and as a matter of fact, striking the batter Asif in the process. He appears to be okay. And 2 more added to the total. It's on now to 29 for the loss of no wicket. So 23 there now to Mohammad Asif. His opening partner, Bertelli's not out on 3. And Kavim Hodge having a fairly expensive one thus far. And drives beautifully. And this one might very well get into the fence. And a bit of misfielding there from Teddy Bishop. Didn't get down, much to the disappointment of Kavim Hodge. But it was a really nice on drive there off the bat of Mohammad Asif. He's on to 27. It's 20, make that 33 for no loss after 3 overs. So the Nepal team going at a scoring rate of 11 after the first 3, and matching that of the Windward Islands Volcanoes. That was the same position when the Windward Islands batted first. The only different statistic was that the Windward Islands at this stage they were 33 for the loss of 1. So we're seeing a change in bowling there from the Windward Island Volcanoes. So Lewis with just a 1 over for 11 runs and being replaced by Redhead, Nicholas Redhead. It's time to come into bowl to Bertel. Over number 4. Bowls to Bertel. Bertel gets one rising outside the off stump and was looking to probably just play that uppercut, then get back onto ball. And it raced through there to the wicketkeeper. Total remains on 31. Not 33, as I previously said. 31 for the loss of no wicket, Nepal. Redhead. Quite a stocky bowler he is. And Sherman Lewis just assisting him there with the run-up as he goes back to the top of his mark. Breaks into his stride and will come in now to bowl to Bertel. And this delivery, yeah, good shot it is. Swings and swings nicely over that deep backward square boundary. And that's a good shot taken there. And Nepal certainly under charge. Racing on to 37 with that 6 for no loss. Bertel would have been fairly sedate since that shot. And Redhead make to go back to his mark and rethink. Turns now and breaks into that stride. Now to bowl to Bertel, and this delivery punches and punches nicely into that onside position there, and ball is quickly back. And 1 more added to the Nepalese total. It's now on to 38 for the loss of 1 as the sunshine is out in all of its glory here at Park Hill. Redhead. One of two Grenadian quicks in this Windward Islands Volcanoes lineup. This time to bowl to Asif, and Asif is, out caught. Beautiful catch it is. He was looking to work this somewhere in the offside, got a top edge, and flew into that short third man position, and catch taken there. Nepal losing the first wicket, and a very important wicket of Asif, going for, I believe, 30, and Nepal, they are 38 for the loss of 1, but a nice, decent catch taken there. And there's Asif making his way back to the dressing room as we have a look at the replay. Wonderfully taken catch. And Nepal now 38 for 1, and this is the fourth over, and they were really going at a very good rate. 11 runs per over thereabout. So the new batsman is Anil Kumar Shah. Anil Shah, big number 16 on the back of his shirt. And he'll join Bertel. So Bertel is not out on 10. I need to face his first delivery. Delivery that's came off the face of the bat down to that short third man position, and no run added. Total remains now at 40 for the loss of 1 wicket. Redhead was having a brief bit of interaction there with Lewis. And will now turn. Comes in now to bowl to Anil Kumar. Kumar to this delivery is beaten outside the off stump. Knew absolutely nothing about that one. And good comeback here from Redhead. That's the end of over number 4. And at the end of it, total is 40 for the loss of 1 wicket. And there we see both batsmen having a mid-pitch conversation, mid-pitch conference. And certainly will be having a change from the southern end. It appears as if Lewis will switch from the northern to the southern end. Sherman Lewis. And we'll be bowling to Bertel, who just doing some repair work to his gloves. So Sherman Lewis had to abort that run as there was an exchange between Teddy Bishop and Asif Hooper. Bishop moving into Hooper moving into that short cover position, and Lewis now turns to bowl to Bertel, and didn't deliver. Dead ball signal by the umpire. .40 for the loss of 1 as the breeze picks up here at the Park Hill playing field, and Lewis first over from this end, comes in now, bowls to Bertel. Bertel tries into the onside. Long on, comes off the fence in Teddy Bishop. And return is into the gloves of the keeper there. He had to come forward to collect that one. But very importantly, no run added. Total remains on 40 for 1. Muhammad Asif, a batsman who's gone back to the locker room. Here is Sherman Lewis. Races in. And this time, Kumar looking to punch through the offside. Didn't get any bat on the ball. And that one went comfortably into the keeper's gloves. So we're into this the fifth over, 41 on the board, 197 the target. Lewis looking to pick up that wicket for the Windward Islands. Bowls to Kumar. Kumar's nice shot. Well guided off the hip and into that fine leg fence. 4 runs and taking his tally to 5, and it's 45 now for the loss of 1. Bertel, who's on 11, leans on his bat at the non-striker's end as Lewis pumps and comes in out the ball and wraps him on the pad. Is a loud appeal, but that one looks as if it was somewhere down the leg side, and Kumar fights on quite naturally. Total remains at 45. So Kumar is on 4 and Kushal Bortel is on 11. And Sherman Lewis in this the 5th over, his second. Will come into bowl to Anil Kumar. And takes a couple steps down and held back there by Lewis. Saw the bat advancing and decided just to pull back a bit. And in the end, he had no choice but just to punch it into the offside. And getting a single in the process. He's on to 5, total now up to 46 with a loss of 1. So 151 required as we enter the 5th over. 15 to go after this one. So they required a run rate just over 10 runs required here over from this Nepalese team. And Sherman Lewis comes in now, this time to Bertel. And Bertel drives, lovely. Fielder coming around and return coming in. The bowler was not there to pick up immediately, but in the end, just a single. And that's the end of over number 5, and the end of it is 47 for the loss of 1. And with another 15 to go, exactly 10 runs per over required, 150. The total required by this Nepal team to earn victory in this, the first practice game here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where they're taking on the Windward Islands Volcanoes. And it's a Volcanoes team certainly packed with a lot of talent. Sunil Lambris not with the outfit. Understand that he's injured. And nonetheless, they've posted a decent total here today. A total of 196, just 4 runs short for the 200. But the Park Hill playing field is not the largest of grounds, but quite a good facility. And Nepal certainly will be looking to get as close as possible. Quite naturally surpass the total. Here comes Redhead now to bowl to Bertel. Bertel gets one right up, and that was a possible chance there. Back to Redhead. I believe he would have dropped that one, but you'll have a thought there for the bowler, because he was just coming off of that stride of his, and that one came rather quickly off the bat of Bertel. He flung himself to his left, but couldn't hold on to it. And a chance there for Bertel. He's not out on 12. Total is on 47 for the loss of 1 as Redhead comes in once again. And this delivery is shots and good shots. That's 6 uppercuts over third man. And 6 runs there from Bertel. Dug in there from Redhead. And got the bats under, up and over, so to speak. And 6 well-taken runs. Putting the 50 on the board here for Nepal. They're now 53 for the loss of 1. And 18 runs now to Bertel. Redhead. Races in. And this delivery, driving high, hard, is going to get pretty close to the fence. 1 bounce, 2 bounces, and I believe that's 4 runs. It is 4 runs. So, shot over extra cover there for Bertel. And taking Redhead to the cleaners for those last 2 deliveries. It's now 57 for 1. And Bertel is on to 22. Redhead comes in. And this one, again, good shots. Under it. Over the third man fence for 6 more. So it's becoming quite an expensive over here from Redhead. Captain Melius now going and having a quick chat with the Redhead, tapping him on the back. But the attack is definitely on here from this Nepal team. They're now 63 for 1. And this is the 6th over, maintaining that 10 runs per over. And Redhead, at this point in time, needs to have a settled head, as he will now, well, abort his run as the batter was certainly not ready. There's some field changing that is taking place. Fielder going right back on that deep backward point boundary. There's a point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, as Redhead comes it down. Bows to Bertel, drives down to mid-on, and quickly taken single. It is. And 1 more to the total, 64 for the loss of 1 wicket. And since the departure of Asif, who was quite aggressive, Bertel certainly taking up the challenge here for Nepal. Redhead turns at the top of his mark and breaks into stride. Comes in. This time bows to Kumari's ball him. Slow delivery it is. He played all over it. And good comeback there from Redhead, deceiving the batsman in the process. And he was certainly bamboozled, as we said. Loss of wicket number 2 there for Nepal is 64 for 2. And quite a nice, decent delivery there from Nicholas Redhead. He got a few sticks early on in the over. Some big heaves from the bat of Bertel. And in the end, with a settled head, if you can say that, deceiving Kumar and bowling him in the process with a slow delivery. It's 64 for the loss of 2. Nepal chasing a target of 197. So, a new batsman coming to the crease. And I believe that's Captain Rohit Kumar, it is, yes. Captain coming to the crease there for Nepal. So it's going to be, looks like Larry Edwards, who's going to pick up the attack from the southern end for the Wooden Islands Volcanoes. And this time we bowl into Bertel. As punching up the gloves to Bertel and the new batting is Captain Rohit. 100. +30 required here from this Nepal team. 133 required for victory. 64 for the loss of 2 wickets. And Larry Edward comes in now to bowl to Bertel. Bertel punches this into the offside. Fielder comes in from that extra cover position, picking it up. And one more to the total. So Captain Rohit Kumar is going to take his first strike. Edwards goes to ball him. Beauty. Rohit completely beaten, bamboozled. And Nepal has lost the 3rd wicket, a very important wicket in the captain. Rohit Kumar forced back, one that kept low. And stumps in the process. It's a 65 for the loss of 3. And certainly the Windward Island Volcanoes, after some early blows off the bat of Bertel and Asif, pulling things back in this the 7th over. It's now 65 for the loss of 3 as we have a look at the replay a while ago. And new batsman coming in, looks like Sandeep Jura. So Jura to join Bertel. Kushal Bertel. And Larry Edwards, and this is first over. Striking for the Windward Islands, and much to pleasure of his captain and his teammates. And we'll continue in this, the 7th over. To bowl to Jura. Sundeep Jura. Just having a look at the field, and now settles as Edwards moves between the umpire and the stumps. And this one wraps on the pad, is allowed appeal, and he's out. LBW. Larry Edwards picking up his 2nd wicket in 2 balls. And much to the amusement of the spectators present here at the Park Hill playing field, the Volcanoes with 2 quick wickets at 65 for 4. And Nepal certainly in a bit of a bother. They've lost the captain, Rohit, with 1 delivery. And there we see Jura, also 1 delivery. And 2 wickets and 2 balls. He's on a hat-trick, Larry Edwards. And we now see the new batter coming in. A very tall player he is. And it looks as if it's Gulshan Kumar, the new batsman, to join Kushal Bertel. .65 for the loss of 4 Nepal. And this is the 7th over, being bowled here by Larry Edwards. Maybe just writing a new script as far as this game is concerned, Edwards. Because prior to this over, Nepal, they were really tearing into the attack of the Windward Islands. Redhead certainly came in for some stick, but he bowled a beautiful slow ball to pick up the wicket of Asif. And Larry Edwards, of course, since then has picked up 2 additional scalps. He's now on a hat-trick as Gulshan, tall figure he is. And still some adjustments being made by Captain Milius. Now we see short mid-wicket being put in place. As a matter of fact, he's going to go into a mid-off position. Lead mid-wicket as Edwards comes in now and bowls to Gulshan. Gulshan is right in behind this one, avoiding the hat-trick. And importantly, no further loss for Nepal. Score now 65 for the loss of 4 in the 7th over. Larry Edwards. Comes in now to bowl to Gulshan. Gulshan is back on across and plays it into the offside. Point comes into play and gets the ball quickly back into the keeper's gloves. Total remains at 65 for 4. Larry Edward into Gulshan. And Gulshan works it into the onside. So that's the end of a very good over, productive over there from Larry Edwards, picking up 2 wickets in the process. Very importantly, slowing the run flow, restricting the Nepal team. They're now 65 for the loss of 4, and certainly some repair work to be done by Gulshan and Bertel. I'm now being rejoined by Cecil Charles, and certainly the match well poised.
Very much so. 65 for 4 at the completion of 7 overs. I think Nepal would have some work to do, and certainly one would anticipate a partnership here between the 2 batters. And we see there's going to be a change in bowling at the northern end.
It is a change in bowling. Red had been replaced. He would have picked up the wicket of Asif in his previous over, and being replaced there at the northern end. Descarte. So Descarte, a new bowler, and had a fairly good innings, Descarte.
And the Windward's actually posting a pretty decent total.
Yes, 196. And Descarte, along with Captain Melius and wicketkeeper Douglas it is, marshalling their forces. So we await the start of this, the
8th over.
8th over, as Descarte, medium pacer, comes in now, bowls to Bertel, wraps him on the tie pad. He was looking to work it through the onside and gets to the pitch of it, so to speak, and rattled on that thigh pad. Total remains at 65 for the loss of 4. And of course, we had some aggression from Asif, and Bertel has certainly shown that he can do it when required. As Descartes now comes in now, bowls to Bertel. Bertel drives down to mid-off. Fielders quickly onto it. Averts a single. And good cricket there by the Windward Islands.
Well, good cricket thus far, and Descartes seemed to hit the spot immediately, not giving him that freedom to free his arms. And he would want to finish very strong. I think Windward would like to have a pretty decent over here to just put some pressure more on Nepal.
Well, let's see what happens with this delivery. Descartes ends, bowls, Bertel works it into the, well, he's looking to probably get that into the point region. And ball in the end just there to the wicketkeeper. Total remains on 65 for the loss of 4.
So 3 dots on a row. Very interesting indeed at this particular juncture of the game.
Yes. Ascarte. Right arm medium bowls and works into the onside. Mid wicket is off the boundary, and a good return coming in into the gloves of the keeper there.
There was Hodge very quickly off the fence, covering grounds like a hare, and rifled that back to the keeper and keeping it down to a single. So really not having runs turning over as we saw in the Windward's innings. They were turning over the singles, turning over the strike. But Descartes so far in this over, 4 deliveries, just the 1 run off the over. He would want to finish very strong, 66 for 4.
So, Ascarte is asking the cover to come a little bit more square, if you can say that, and he'll now ask the mid-wicket to come round a bit. Comes in now to bowl to Gushal. Gushal just works it into that point position. Good work there from Captain Melius, and restricting the score. Still on 66 for the loss of 4. So it's really a nice, decent over thus far.
Yes, so 5 deliveries, 1 run, and certainly he would want to ensure that there's no boundaries hit at this particular stage.
Ascarte is having a bit of a conversation there with Melius with regards to the field adjustment. And in his opinion, the long off should remain, but Captain Melius is asking him to come into that, looks like a mid-off position, bringing him off the fence, and now pushing back the long on. So here comes Descartes now to bowl to Gushal. And this one beats him outside the off stump. The end of a wonderful over there from Descartes.
Extremely good over. Just giving her a single. And you can see good carry to the keeper. Certainly the surface, getting good bounce, good carry. And the keeper appreciating that. But the Windward's really tightening the screws here on Nepal at the completion of 8 overs, 66 for 4. And really, I think we want to see something here from the Nepalese, and let's see who is going to pick it up from this the southern end. So right hand, left hand combination. So left arm in bowls, but it goes back. So that bubbles back to the bowler. There's no run. So things are kept very tight indeed. Larry Edwards, Windward's bowls. Again, he goes back and he hits it in the air down to long on, who comes off the boundary, keeps it down to a single. And the total goes on to 67. So runs now down to a trickle. And bright sunshine here at the Park Hill playing field. Lovely conditions, nice cooling breeze blowing across the ground. One can see the flags fluttering in the breeze. And the left-handed batter, Golbin, comes in, he flashes at that, misses outside the off stump, taken cleanly by the keeper, standing up. And there is no run. So Edwards keeping things rather tight. Yes, he's in with 4th delivery. He goes back, bangs it out to backward point, knocked down there by the man at backward point. They go through for a single. Total now on to 68. So 68 for 4. We are in over number 9. And really, the Windward's really tightening the screws here on Nepal. As Bertil comes back into strike. Edwards between the umpire and the stumps. He goes back. Edwards feels to his own bowling. And there is no run. So just 2 runs so far in this over, Anthony, with just a single delivery remaining.
Yes, and really and truly, the Grenadines have pulled it back nicely really putting a grip on the...
And that's a Yorker length. He digs it out. Well bowled.
Yes, putting a
And
halt on the
again,
Nepalese
that's the
batting.
end of a very, very good over indeed. I think the last 2 overs, just 3 runs coming off the last 2 overs. Nepal find themselves under pressure.
Certainly a lot of pressure here this afternoon in the hot sun here at the Park Hill playing field. It's now 68 for the loss of 4. This partnership a very important one as they look to surpass that total of 197. They would have lost some 3 quick wickets, captain included, Captain Rohit, and Gulshan and Bertel, who's been there since the start. He's not out on 31, I believe. Will need to stay there, soak up a bit of this pressure and try to get Nepal as close as possible, possibly over the line here this afternoon.
Definitely. So Descartes will continue from the northern end as the wind was looking to really make further inroads into Nepal's batting. And he's driving in the air, short of the man at mid-off. Return comes in, tame return really. And what first looks rather suicidal in the end got in very safely. Total goes on to 69 for 4. We are in over number 10. And Asif Hooper covering grounds fielded nicely, but I think was a weak return to Descartes, allowing the batter to get in. So Descartes comes into Bertil, who is flashing that down to third man. Beats third man on the bounce for 4.
Well, when you go at it as hard as possible, and so did Bertel on that occasion. Took the outside edge and it flew past the keeper and past that third man position, 4 runs to Nepal.
Well, Descartes gave him the room to free his arms, and he really went at it hard on the bounce and went flying past third man and into the fence. And his good delivery. And he has to defend. Extra cover covering grounds. And feels well. There is no run. And Descartes, with a smile, seemed to be enjoying his work. Had a very good first over, conceding 1 run. And now trying to tighten some screws on Nepal's batting. 73 for 4. We are in over number 10. And he's swinging at that high in the air. Find like he's coming around. Will he catch it? No, he clears the fence for 6. Top edge and a small ground. Asif Hooper was looking to get underneath it, but it sailed over his head and into the rails at the Park Hill Pavilion for 6. And the total now on to 79, but he was looking to work it. He got a top edge and he got the maximum that he deserved.
Without a doubt, it was a well-taken shot there from Bertel. He's been the aggressor. He's on to 42.
So here is Descartes. He's down the track and he's lifting that high and hard. That would clear the fence. This is another 6. Huge hit.
So Bertel now deciding that I'm going to take it to the bowlers, and he's throwing the kitchen sink more or less, but playing some good constructive shots in the process.
Very good shot. And he used his feet, got there, and he lifted it over the long off fielder, clearing him by a distance. And umpire Butler just examining the ball, now tosses it to Descartes, who has gone for some runs in this over. And here he is. Good delivery, guys. It's out to backward point. Melius has a throw, misses, and had that struck, he would have been gone by the mile.
Without a doubt, he was way out. But Melius, unfortunately, wasn't able to get ball onto stumps, and 1 more run added in the process.
So a pretty fruitful over indeed there for Nepal. I think some 17 or so runs coming in that over. So 86 for 4 at the completion of 10. If my math serves me right, 8.6 runs and over.
Well, there's just about 111 to go, so they have to go at 11 plus.
Yeah, 111 for 10. And so Larry Edwards.
He's had a good spell, Edwards. Let's see if he can certainly sustain that. And receiving the ball there from Sherman Lewis as the sun is once again out in all of its glory, Charlo.
Yes, a wonderful day here at the Park Hill playing field. And Edwards would go between the umpire and the stumps. And one must say a much appreciative crowd here at Park Hill as usual. Not a very large crowd, being a working day and a school day as well.
Yes.
But there are those diehards who are here. And Bortil drives square, beats Melios. Backward point has some run to do. Hodge knocks it down and keeps it down to 2. So good work by Hodge on the boundary and saving his team 2 runs. The total goes on to 88. And we are in over number 11.
Well, Charlo, we've been joined in the commentary position by a gentleman named name of Sean Rose. He's not contributing, he's only adding to our hunger.
Well,
the fact that he's eating some rice and peas and stew chicken.
Well, I really refuse to talk about it because I think he has done it for spite. Here he says working it down to deep mid-wicket, who comes off the boundary. Keeps it down to a single. The total goes on to 89. 89 for 4 in over number 11. So the turning over of the strike that we spoke about earlier. And the left-hander, Gulshan comes in to strike. And he swings off the top edge. Diving effort there. I think he just dropping short, but I think he was a late move by the field at short third man. He was looking to swing that somewhere over mid-wicket. Got a leading edge and fell just short of a diving fielder there at short third man. And there is no run.
So Larry Edwards continued to put problems to these Nepalese batsmen.
This time he swings high in the air. Someone is getting underneath it. Melios is settling. He takes it. And again we see Gulbin looking to go deep mid-wicket. Got a leading edge. Melios at short extra cover, covering some grounds to mid-off. And took a comfortable catch. Nepal now 89 for 5.
89 for 5. And yes, it's just the fact that Larry Edwards continued to bowl that's good, maintaining line, so to speak, and placing a lot of pressure on the batter Gulshan. He had that attempt, the ball before, certainly, and this time he was looking to go straight. Got the height, but not got the elevation, I should say, but not the distance. And it was an easy work there for Captain Melios.
So Windwards continue to apply some pressure. So 89 for 5 in over number 11, and really it's going to have a big axe here on the lower order to really mount that sort of fight back. For Nepal, we see Airy making his way out. He will join Bortil, who is on 52, I think.
He's on 52.
All right.
Highest score for the game thus far. We had a good innings off the bat of Dylan Douglas for the Windward Islands, who scored around 50. And Bertel now on 52 there for Nepal. Let's hope it's not in a losing cause. They require just another 108 runs for victory. And we're into the 11th over. So Bertel, still a lot required from him. Opening batsman. He started quite sedately, so to speak. Left it up to his fellow opener in Muhammad Asif, who really plundered the bowling, especially off of Redhead. But since his departure, Bertel has certainly taken up the task, so to speak.
So Airy would now face Larry Edwards, who has been among the wicket. I think that's his third in, and he's working that out to mid-wicket, who comes off the boundary. He will keep it down to a single, and the total now goes on to 90. It's 90 for 5 over number 11 in progress. And we see Asif Hooper doing a bit of warming up. So perhaps we're going to see the left-arm orthodox coming in at that northern end at the completion of over number 11. So Bertil, just Melios doing some adjustments. Bertil just pulls away. Now he settles. A big gap, a real open stance. A good delivery, drops it and runs it out to backward point. He gets a single. And a poor piece of work by Captain Melios, giving away extra run. And the total now goes on to 92.
Should really have held on to that one, Melios, because Edwards was nowhere close to the stumps. He went for the stumps and missed it completely. And as you said, just giving up an easy additional run to the Nepalese team. 92 for the loss of 5.
So 92 for 5 at the completion of over number 11. So that would give us 8, just over 8 runs and over. And we see Asif Hooper, who is going to pick it up from the northern end.
Yes. And Hooper,
So it's going to be all spin attack.
without a doubt, here at Park Hill as Hooper. And that bearded look reminds me of the English spinner,
Yeah, I know, Moeen Ali.
Moeen Ali.
So he'll bowl round the wicket, and umpire Butler standing at the northern end. So Hooper, like Edwards, would go between umpire and the stumps.
So this time he'll come into bowl to Irie, and delivery as a shot works into that backward point position. And Melius, the captain, is there. Didn't pick up initially, but did enough to avoid the run. Total remains at 95, make that 92 for the loss of 5. Asif Hooper, who is really, on local term, the T20 specialist. And this one driven into the point here again, and again Melius not holding on to it, and this time
Giving away a single.
yes. So one more to the total, one more to Irie. Bertel now comes in to take strike. Facing up now to Asif Hooper. This delivery is banged the square of the wickets, and that's going to get into the fence. That's 4 more runs. Good shot there from
Beautifully played.
Bertel.
I think he waited on it, played it late, and bisecting the third man and backward point, and it raced away and down to the fence for 4. Well played indeed there by Bertel.
Without a doubt, he's certainly leading the charge here for Nepal. And he goes on to 58. Hooper. Just asking for a bit of a field adjustment. And that is the case. You see a short third man, a backward point, a point in position. So they're packing that area. They see that there's an area of strength for Bertel as Hooper now comes in now. And Bertel now looking to work this one off the pad. I believe it would have struck him on that thigh pad. Let's wait for the signal. And yes, it is a leg by.
So, leg by. Total now on to 98. And see umpire Butler indicating 2 legal deliveries remaining in the over.
Hooper this time to Irie, and outside the off stump, fans at it. Didn't get any bat onto the ball, luckily for him.